What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And before I will show you the video that I did, the workout that I did with Jelle Starreveld, which is his name, how you pronounce it in Dutch, I will tell you something about the Bodypower because I will be going there. But Jelle is the Dutch champion right now. He won the Dutch Nationals. He's pretty much one of the best Dutch amateur bodybuilders right now. He's almost pretty much as tall as me, which is awesome. He's a big guy, very nice classic physique, but you will see that in the video right after this. So I will actually be at the Bodypower in Birmingham in the UK from May 9th to May 12th, so 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I will be there the full days, all day, with their own booth of Vintage Genetics with our clothing, deals, promotion deals, discounts, and of course if you see me, don't hesitate to take a picture if you want, and don't hesitate to talk to me, ask me questions, because every time I am at an expo, a lot of people tell me that they saw me but they didn't go to me because they were afraid for some reason. But don't be, because I'm always in for a good talk or answering a question or taking a picture. And this Monday, I actually turned 26. It was my birthday, and on that day I did a discount code for the Vintage Genetics store, and the response to that was amazing. A lot of people congratulated me, but the Vintage Genetics store did so great that day. I just want to thank you so much for the support. Of course, the discount code had something to do with it, but because it was my birthday, it was quite nice to see that I get a present from you guys in terms of the support that I've been getting for the website and the comments, the likes, just the engagement on my social media, and that just really makes the company even bigger, which is of course one of my passions next to bodybuilding. But anyway guys, let's get straight to the video. Alright, so the workout I did with Jelle was actually a chest workout, of course. I never trained with him before. I did compete with him before at the Juliet Bergman Dutch Grand Prix in 2017, but he has made a tremendous amount of progress since then. We both did the super heavyweights, and he did the super heavyweights at the Dutch Nationals this time and won the overall at that contest. He looked amazing, very good conditioning. Check out his Instagram page. You can see that in the description box of this video if you want to follow him. But he is a great, to me, classic bodybuilder, even though he really focuses mostly on just growing, being the best, but also keeping everything in balance, which is something I admire about bodybuilders. But anyway, we start out with the bench press. We didn't record every single set of every exercise because mostly we just wanted to talk about our own experiences, because we never really had a chat before with each other, and just enjoy the workout itself. And who doesn't want to train chest? Seriously. So what he also does is really focus on the mind-muscle connection during each exercise. And you can see that if he does the bench press, you can see that the pectoral muscles are actually working. So I have a slightly wider grip than him. A lot of people have different preferences in terms of the grip they have with the barbell press, with the bench press. In my opinion, the wide grip works best for me. That's how I've developed a big chest, a wide chest, just like Arnold used to do back in the day. But it really depends on how everything feels. If you don't really feel it in the chest that much, then if you feel it more in the shoulders, you should do a closer grip to enhance the contraction of the chest a little more. But for me, it's all about the stretch during the bench press, because you cannot really contract it fully, but you can stretch it fully, in my opinion. Then the next basic exercise, of course, the incline dumbbell press. And as you can see, we do quite a lot of sets with each exercise, especially the first two, because the first few sets are lighter sets to really get used to the movement, get warmed up with it, and warm up the entire shoulder joint, because a lot of people, again, have shoulder problems. So if the rotator cuffs are weak and they're not properly warmed up, you could get an injury when doing heavy chest exercise like the bench press or even the dumbbell press. But for people who have shoulder problems, the incline dumbbell press or a regular dumbbell press is always more suitable compared to a barbell press. But here you can see that you have to stretch down below as far as possible and go all the way upwards without locking out your elbows, which is what I tell a lot of people who I make workout plans for. People tend to lock out their elbows or keep a pause at the very top, which is not something that you always want to do, because if you do, that means you have lost the tension on your chest, which causes less time under tension, which is one of the principles of hypertrophy of the muscle. And during each chest exercise, a full range of motion is very important to really develop the chest in its full capacity, because if you don't, that means that simply the chest won't grow as big as it can grow. And a prime example of an exercise where you should use full range of motion is this one, the cable flies. As you can see, he goes all the way back, stretching the chest. And if you're lean enough, you can see that the striations in the chest start to appear, and then you know you hit a full stretch, and then you have to hit a full contraction. Because these cable flies, the benefit of them is that you keep full tension even though you're fully stretched with your arms, keeping the tension on the chest, which is the difference compared to a dumbbell fly, for example. Also, in my opinion, it's always better to do the isolation movement for chest later on in the workout. I had a time where I did it at the beginning of the workout for a while because I wanted to actually increase my strength in the bench press. This was years ago, by the way, but that actually caused my bench press to become weaker because I wasn't used to that movement anymore with full strength. So in my opinion, when training chest, always start out with an exercise that doesn't hurt your shoulders, but you are able to push a lot of weight with, because progressive overload and using a big load on the chest is what really makes it grow the most. And then this exercise, the assisted dips, an amazing exercise compared to the bodyweight dips in terms of the contraction part. Just imagine when doing bodyweight dips, it is very difficult to properly contract the chest, because usually you simply go all the way down, you go upwards, but you don't really focus on contracting those pectoral muscles as much. During this exercise, however, you can go all the way upwards, focus on that contraction, and then go downwards. Kind of making it look like a dip machine, like a machine you could literally only do that dip movement on. So we use the assisted dip machine, which actually mimics that movement if you do it correctly. A full stretch and a full contraction is possible here, and that's a little better than the bodyweight dips, but the bodyweight dips are better for developing a more overall musculature in the lower pecs, because every free weight movement is better for gaining muscle in the long run, because studies, for example, compare bench press, free weight bench press with a Smith machine bench press, and because there is a balancing factor with the bench press, you actually develop more musculature in the muscles that you're training, and it is better for the musculature around the main muscles to keep everything in check and in balance and a more healthy joints, for example. But then we are doing a superset of 2 tricep exercises, and I love this superset for sure, because first you work on the small head of the triceps with a rope pushdown, really pushing a lot of blood in that part of the triceps, and then doing an overhead tricep extension with a rope as well, and that enhances the long head of the triceps, which is the part of the triceps you should work the most, in my opinion, because that makes your arm looks the biggest, looking great in front double bicep shots, for example. And also a tip, when you don't have a spotter near you when doing a rope pushdowns or overhead rope extensions, instead of actually pushing apart the 2 handles, you actually keep the handles together, so the 2 parts of the rope actually stay together, and that way it's easier to keep pushing the weight forward, causing you to go beyond failure. Because you can see Yellow doing that right here. Instead of going all the way outward, he stays inwards, and that causes him, it allows him to push further beyond failure, really attacking and taxing those tricep muscle fibers. Alright guys, that was the workout of the day. Had a great workout with Yella for sure. Always good to work out with someone who has also a lot of potential to become better, has a lot of desire, and may actually become a very good bodybuilder in the international scene later on. But for now, he's the best in the Netherlands in the amateur scene. So good luck to him for sure. Follow him again at Jelle Starreveld is his Instagram. Check it out in the description box. And I will be at the Bodypower from the 9th to 12th May this weekend. So if you go to the Bodypower, make sure to visit the Vintage Genetics booth. Booth 58. I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.